Hello and welcome. It's The Chat. I am Manny. Well, you'd be privileged if you were in my shoes to be face to face with a woman who has been first in all her endeavors in life. In everything she's done, she's been first.
Mrs. Adetun Ogunsheye is the first female professor in Nigeria and one who has recorded many firsts in her long years of service in the academia. Though Adetun was born in 1926 in Benin City on the 5th of December, she is from Ijebu-Ode in Ogun State. Like many other female giants, she had her secondary school education at the prestigious Queen's College, Yaba, in 1939. She thereafter proceeded to Yaba High College of Technology, where she received her diploma in 1948, becoming the first woman to graduate from the school. Subsequently, having received the Best Graduating Student Award in 1952, she left the shores of Nigeria on scholarship to Cambridge University in the United Kingdom, where she obtained her first degree in geography. 4 years later, she earned her master's degree in same and took another master's degree in library science from Simmons College in the United States in 1962. However, before moving to the United States of America, Professor Ogunsheye taught at the Anglican Girls Grammar School in Ilesha, now named St. Margaret's School, and St. Anne's School in Ibadan. She also worked in various capacities at the library of the University of Ibadan. And in 1973, she became a professor of library and information science at the university. Between 1977 and 1979, she was appointed the Dean of Education at the University of Ibadan, making her the first female to occupy such position. She retired from the university system in 1987, but took up several other international and national assignments which saw her serve in high positions. She currently manages the Ogunsheye Foundation, a non-governmental organization with focus on research in library foundation for students. She has written and published well over 50 academic publications and books. Of note is A Break in Silence, a book she wrote which chronicled in detail her siblings' tragic ending after sympathizing with Nigeria's Igbo victims of the late 1960s pogrom. A mother and grandmother, 93-year-old Ogunsheye still makes out time for women and youths in the various socio-cultural and educational organizations she belongs to.
You must have been such a princess in your younger days, Professor Adetun Ogunsheye. Look at that. I mean,
I belong to the royal land in my hometown, in Ijebu-Ode and in Umu, my mother's home.
Really?
Yes.
I mean, you are 93. Nobody would have guessed that, your ability to speak out very well could still be this great. And your vision is even not affected. You climb up the stairs every day and climb down every day.
Well, I deliberately did that too because I felt it would be an exercise.
But tell me the story of, is it Adeboye?
Yes. Well, as I said, I went to this outreach that he held at the stadium in Ibadan. And he had a period of ministration when he says prayers and says, I see that you are 70 now. The Lord says, he's taking 70 years from your life.
No, is that 70? 10 years.
10 years from your life.
Yes.
And that you will now be looking younger than you were before. And I keyed it into that. And he said so many other things. That one was not obvious.
So it's literally taking 10 years off you.
Yes.
And you're looking younger at 93 with a brilliant smile, in spite of, you said you had a
gap tooth.
A gap tooth, but this is more than, this is more than a gap now.
I had to have a too schooled up. I don't want anybody to see.
No, but
it's obvious.
the smile is brighter now. I think so. You know, the second of your family, right?
Yeah.
But you also had a younger brother, immediate younger brother, who was in the military in the days of the Civil War.
He was not the immediate one. He was number 3.
Victor Banjo.
Victor Banjo, yes.
Late Colonel Victor Banjo.
Yes.
He was in the Biafran army, wasn't he?
ECN, the one who started ECN.
He started Electricity Corporation of Nigeria. What do you mean?
That is Ademola Banjo was number 2.
Okay.
And he was an engineer. He was the first African to head ECN.
Wow.
And then number 3 was Victor Banjo.
Victor Banjo.
He was the first graduate and the first engineer in the military.
The first graduate in the military?
In the military, yes.
Really?
He went to Sandhurst.
So your family is a family of first, isn't? Is that what you're saying?
We were very lucky. We had both educated parents.
Where are the other siblings?
The others, well.
Is anyone surviving of the whole lot?
Yes.
Who's?
The 2 girls are surviving. They were both scientists too. One was a biology teacher. The other one was a physicist. And my mother was also educated.
But you didn't say much about your mother. It was all about my father,
I know,
Why? You
love
your father more than your mother?
No, I love my mother too. My mother was great.
If you were to make a choice now between mother and father, who would you choose?
I wouldn't know how to choose.
Why? Make a choice.
No, both of them were tremendous. My mother was tall, stately, disciplined, and I admired her a lot.
And you were the first, from what I gather, first female African to be admitted into Cambridge?
Yes, that's what they said.
How did that make you feel when you were, admitted into the Cambridge?
Before I went to Cambridge, I went to Yaba College, and I was the only student. Let me tell you.
The first as well?
Yes, I was the only student in my first year at Yaba College.
So you became an only female in the high college,
Yes.
How did you feel? Was that your first time of being in a co-ed? Well, I couldn't call it co-educational because you're just the first and only woman.
To go to Yaba College.
How did you feel amongst the boys?
Well, I had to keep myself to myself.
You studied, library science?
No, I studied geography.
You studied geography, and then after geography, but your professorship is in library.
Yes, I did geography. I did cartography. It was one of physiography and cartography, map making.
You do destroy my head now. Yes, okay.
One of the subjects I did, and I wrote map reading book for secondary schools.
You did?
Yes.
Wonderful.
Now to do library science, now I became a map librarian at the University of Ibadan. And then they started a library school and developed their map collection. Then they started a library school, and the librarian said, before then I had devised a classification scheme for books, for maps. And he said, I want you to come and teach in the school. And I said, look, if I'm going to teach in the school, let me go and do a master's in library science. In America, you get a discipline, you study a particular discipline and become a graduate before you can do a 1-year course as a master's. And that's what I did.
And you did all of that?
Yes.
How did you meet your husband?
Just by chance, really. One of my teachers, Chief Dina, who had taught me at Yaba College, invited me to a meeting of when I came back. I just arrived back from Cambridge, and he said, you must come to a meeting of trade union something. It was to do, I can't even remember the title. And he said, I'd like you to meet I'd like you to meet a young man who I consider the most popular and brilliant bachelor in town, and I smiled.
Why did you smile? Is that what you were looking for at the time?
No, I wasn't.
Are you sure?
I was looking for where I would work at the time.
Were you not thinking of marriage at that time?
I was, but I didn't think that I would.
And then when you met him, what happened?
I was surprised. We became friends.
Really, you were attracted to him immediately?
Well, yes.
What did he say to you?
My teacher was the one who introduced me, and then he introduced me also as the latest spinster.
Whoa! and there you were, really coming from England, looking really,
Well, I do thank God.
And that's was the beginning of a life.
We became very great friends. Yes, it was. He was my friend. He was my husband as well as a husband. And not many women are that lucky to have a friend, their husband also as a friend.
Is it important?
It's very important for marriage. I think so. For me, it was very important.
How long did you last in this marriage?
When did he die? We got married in 53.
Wow.
And he died in 67.
I'm sure you still miss him a great deal.
I do.
You were such good friends, and
yes, we were. Actually, we found out that we both love music, classical music, and one of our collection next room is his collection. He's a collector both of books and music.
So did you ever quarrel?
Yeah. I tried to arrange his books, and he came, and I thought he would be pleased that I had arranged this and the place, and he came in and he said, "Don't you ever touch my books. There is order in the disorder which you see around," because there were books all over the place, on the bed, in the little flats that we were at that time.
Okay, so you had misunderstandings as well.
All marriages have misunderstandings, for goodness sake.
Today's marriages that don't seem to last. What do you think is responsible?
I think two things. One, many of the marriages that I see now, some of the men has although they accept women as equal, but they don't really, in marriage, they don't really give them the opportunity to function as equals.
Do you think that somebody should be head of the home anyway?
But let me finish.
Okay.
I personally believe that at home, my husband is head of the family, and I accepted that.
Regardless of your financial
regardless of
status.
money, regardless of finance, regardless of...
Let's go back to your younger brother, Victor Banjo, who was in the military during the Civil War. Do you think that Victor, your brother, was right to be on the side of Biafra during the war?
Well, I wasn't surprised that he was on the side of Biafra, and he said his reason why he was on the side of Biafra.
What reason was that?
First of all, he and Ojukwu were friends here. They both were graduates in the army. They both had... I wrote a book about it, and I launched a book about it.
For a 93-year-old, you have remembered so much already.
And in the book, I spelled out what has happened. And
So, but let me ask, what do you consider your greatest worry about Nigeria now, today?
I believe that Nigeria, God has a plan for Nigeria to be one country. And I'm hoping that our leaders will try to promote unity, but the way the headsmen are doing it is the way to divide us. Because I think people like me, I'm a one Nigeria person, but recently I've become, they have made me become more aware that, because they have stifled the development of the South.
Do you think Awolowo would have been president in Nigeria?
He should have. If he had been, we would have been very lucky.
Really?
Yes.
All right, you've picked a
That's it.
question.
Okay. How do you cope with the ever-changing nature of technology?
Oh, wow.
Using computer and other communication gadgets.
Do you own one?
Where's my bag?
Oh.
I have my iPad.
Oh, you have an iPad?
I have an iPad.
At 93?
Yeah.
How do you cope
And
with
I
the
do everything on my iPad now.
Wow.
And I am fascinated by the technology.
Is this your iPad?
Yes, that's my iPad.
So how do you cope with the ever-changing? What do you do?
I'm excited. Every day I wish I were a student.
Really?
But I knew about technology because if you read my inaugural lecture, my professorial lecture, The Records of Civilization, I remember that. I always remember things much further ahead than current things now. I did welcome the technology that was the computer that was coming in, because it gave us librarians to implement something that we were hoping would happen, that somebody would sit at their desk and have access to knowledge no matter where they are all over the world. I'm now in the process of putting all this on a database. That's the latest that I'm even for this small collection. So that, and I think it is fantastic. Technology and computer and all this other communication had given man access to knowledge.
Yes.
Fantastic access to knowledge. Now we are going to the moon. We are thinking of, we have a station in the moon. In fact, most of the things in this my iPad is put in what they call the cloud, iCloud, in a cloud, somewhere. The database is somewhere hanging
Yes.
around, and it's fantastic.
What's a typical day like for you?
Okay, I'll give you my schedule this week. On Monday, I had a meeting. On Sunday, there was a meeting of a small group, the senior elders group of the YC in my house, informing us that the government meeting is taking place on Tuesday, and that we must prepare a paper and do something for that event. And it took the whole of my afternoon after church. On Monday, we had our own meeting to prepare our paper at the headquarters. And it started from 12, no, from, we were supposed to meet at 11. We met at 11, no, 12, about 12 anyway. And we were there till about 5. And I came. Well, on Tuesday, I think it was on Tuesday that the governors met.
Yeah.
Yes, on Tuesday the governors met. And I was there again. They were supposed to meet at 9. I know the governors will not be there at 9. They are coming from 6 different states. But I joined them. In fact, I preceded them. I joined them at 11. I was there till 2. At 2, I decided I was. After all the governors had given their speech, I decided I must come back home.
What's your interest in the governance? Are you into politics?
Oh, I'm interested in what are they doing really to protect us in the Southwest. I'm interested in the state police. I mean, nobody can sit at one center. And that is why our government has nearly failed. I wouldn't use the word fail, that we are a failed state. We will not be a failed state in Jesus' name.
Amen. But let me ask you, aside from moving around some of these places for your reasons, patriotic reasons, so to speak, what's your typical day like? When do you wake up in the morning? And when do you go to bed at night?
I wake up about between 7 and 7, usually between 6:30 and 7.
Then what do you do?
I'm looking outside a center. I'm looking outside this library to begin with. I'm looking outside a center for women in Shamonda. This is a center that was started 50 years ago, or 60 years ago, in 1960. Yes, precisely that, in 1960. I was the first secretary. I have all their documents.
Oh.
And of course, from 1965, we had acquired some 20 acres of land, and we're going to have a women's center and have programs to develop women. We believe then that it is women who will help develop. The educated women must help develop.
So okay, I take that. So when do you go to bed at night?
So I organize that.
When do you go to bed at night?
I don't go to bed till about 12. Then I listen to the news.
Really?
I don't sleep much.
When you go out, do you drive yourself?
I drove myself till I was 70.
No.
Till I was 70.
Oh, okay.
And then I was in Abeokuta then as commissioner in charge of secondary schools. And the people who license us refused to give me, when I clocked 70, they refused to give me, not when I was 60 there. At 70, they refused
to give you a license.
To give me a license.
Would you have taken a license at 70?
At 70, I was still alert and.
So, what are the kind of things you cannot do now?
I cannot drive now.
Okay. Can you
my
dance?
leg gets swollen, so
yeah.
I have a walking stick now. I cannot dance now. I used to love dancing.
Really?
Yeah.
Were you good at it?
I think so, not bad.
What kind of music?
Oh, those days we used to have balls and all those, folks. What is it? I even forgot.
Can we have a dance?
No, thank you. Nowadays, that's why I have my walking stick.
Really?
Because as you go, I was still all right until I became 92. And until I became 91, then I found that I'd lost my balance. You lose balance.
Yeah.
And you need a walking stick.
Wow.
If you are 90.
Professor Ogunsheye, it's been wonderful talking to you. I've enjoyed every moment of it.
Thank you very much.
I hope you've enjoyed yourself.
I have.
As you now get closer.
Giving me memories, brought back pleasant memories.
Really?
Yes.
Excellent. We'll do that again because I'm not sure you're done with life.
Well, I don't know. If I just pray that I will end well.
You will indeed.
And that I know where I'm going and that I will make it.
You have my best
That's
wishes.
salvation.
You have
Yes.
my best wishes.
Thank you.
Thank you for being on the program.
Thank you.
I've enjoyed your company.
Thank you.
And that's how it's been with the woman who has been first all her life. Professor Adetun Ogunsheye, the first female professor in Nigeria. I am Manny. Thanks for being there.
Thank you very much.
The Chat is produced by Channels Television. You can watch it again online. Just visit our social media platforms: Twitter, YouTube, Facebook.